Hey guys, check out this new bike I just got in by KBO. This thing's pretty sweet looking. Look at the color on that thing. I think it's pretty nice. Real quickly, we're gonna go over the unboxing procedure and what it takes to put this thing together. Then I'm gonna come back and do a detailed overview and then hop on this baby and take it for a spin. We're gonna be testing out all the different PAS levels and see what this thing will do max speed. As always guys, if you guys wanna jump right to a specific spot in the video, I will put timestamps down below. Just click on that specific time and it'll take you right to that spot in the video. And I will put down in the description also a link to this bike. If you guys are interested, it will be affiliate link. So if you guys use it, I will make a small commission at no extra cost to you. And I do want to mention that KBO did send me this bike over for free for testing and review. However, as always, they have no influence over what I do in my videos or what I'm going to say. Let's get into it, guys. Oh yeah, guys, I also put a coupon code down below if they have current coupon codes, so make sure you guys take advantage of those. Currently, they have $50 off of one bike and $150 off of two bikes. So make sure you guys use that if you're going to pick one up. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my Instagram so you can see previews of future videos. Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna get this thing out of the box and show you guys what's involved in putting it together. The only issue I had with the shipping was the gooseneck popped out of the box here. There's a little bit of damage on the gooseneck. It looked like maybe they turned it up on its side and drug it across something, but that's probably an issue with FedEx and the way they handled it. The back seems to be pretty good. The only thing is if they turn the package upside down, because you know FedEx doesn't like to leave them the right way up. I could see maybe something getting damaged, maybe the rear rack or something, because there's not a whole lot of padding on top of the bike. All right, everyone, so let's get this thing out of the box and show you what's involved with the assembly. Overall, the bike was pretty easy to assemble. All you have to do first is install the handlebars up front with the 4 bolts in the stem. Now, they do give you a nice multi-tool for making adjustments on the bike and assembling it, which is very nice. I'm glad they included that. Then the next step is to read the manual, because I wasn't sure if to put the front wheel on first or the fender, but after reading the manual, it says to install the front wheel first, which I agree is easier to put the wheel on and then put the fender on after the fact. And stick around till later in the video, guys, because I will have a tip on adjusting the front fender, because it is pretty close to the tire, but I may have a fix for that. Once you get the front wheel on, you can mount your water bottle holder. Take note, guys, that my mounts were underneath the bike, but I've also seen photos online where they have the mounts on the top tube as well. So I'm not quite sure what the current model is, but just make note of that. Then you can put your rear derailleur guard on the back, because it does not come installed on the bike, and install your pedals. All right, guys, I got most of it put together, and I gotta tell you, this is a really sweet looking bike. I'm loving the color, I'm loving the orange. It is a lot of orange, but it's really nice. And a few things I wanna mention about assembly real quick. You could put your front wheel on first before you put your fender on. It'll probably be easier. And then the way I mounted my light was, because you got to install the light, I put the fender up against the back of the fork there, and then I put the light on, and it just seemed to fit a lot better. But make sure you keep your fender all the way up to give you the most clearance you can underneath this front tire, because it does hug it pretty tight. So I'm hoping that's not going to touch. I may have to play with that and adjust it a little bit. And then these down here, I have to attach them yet, but these go to these little plastic mounts right like that. So you just, you know, adjust them where you need to keep that fender where you need it. All I have to do now is install the pedals, and we'll be ready to charge this thing up and take it for a spin. All right, guys, one thing to note when installing these pedals, the pedal that goes on the right side of the bike, that's when you're sitting on the bike on your right, threads in normal, like a normal bolt, so it would turn clockwise. Now, the pedals were not labeled with stickers, but there is, in the end of the pedal, it is stamped WR for the right one and WL for the left one. Make sure you guys don't get them mixed up and cross thread them in there, because you will mess the threads up. So the one on the left side, you will actually spin it the opposite way, counterclockwise, to install it. And they do give you a wrench, but it's in that combination kit like this. They do give you a tool in there to fit these pedals, which, I mean, it will work. I like to use a nice pedal wrench here like this, because I'm always putting pedals on. These are fairly reasonable. I'll leave a link down to it in Amazon if you guys are interested in it. It's a pretty good wrench. I've been using it a lot, but I'll show you. You can do it. See, it's kind of hard with this because you have to have the tool facing a certain way. If you try to tighten it like this, the tool wants to close on you, so you have to have the pedal wrench on kind of upside down, and then this side hits the crank. So it's really not ideal for this. Let's see, I could probably go this way with it. Nope. Maybe this way. Yeah, but see, that's not really ideal. So, I mean, you can somewhat get it, maybe make this tool work, but really not ideal for installing pedals. So like I said, you want something like this. It'll get you nice and tight. And like I said, I'll leave an affiliate link down for this below in the description, as well as some other tools that I always use if you guys want to check that out. Now, as a small disclaimer, I will make a small commission if you guys do use those links, but that's what helps this channel out. It makes it all able for me to upgrade my video equipment and things like that. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show you was I'm really impressed with this light. I can't wait till night to try it out. It's like wider than my normal lights, and there's 2 LEDs in there instead of 1. And one thing I wanted to mention is you do have to connect these 2 wires. They're just push type connectors. You just got to push them into the light. Make sure they're in the right one, the positive and the negative. They are marked on the housing here. So all you got to do is plug those in and you're good to go on that. But like I said, I can't wait till nighttime to try that out. So now let's take a look at the detailed specs and overview of the KBO Breeze electric bike while I have the battery on charge. Up here on the handlebars, you have a nice set of faux leather grips. Now these grips are a little bit stiff, but they're nice and big and they have a really good design to them, which in my opinion is really comfortable. So I will be leaving these hand grips on here. On the left-hand side of the brake lever, you have a nice little bell integrated into that, so that's nice to see for safety. On the left side, for controlling the bike, you have the C300S display, which shows your battery level, your assist level, your miles per hour, and then you could toggle through the miles on your bike, your current trip, your max speed, and also your time of your current trip. On the right hand side, we have a half grip twist throttle and a 7-speed Shimano thumb shifter, which leads down to the Shimano Altus derailleur, which is a step up above entry level, and the 14 to 28 freewheel. The gooseneck on this bike is branded Pro Max and it is not adjustable, so that is one thing that I might be changing in the future. But the handlebars are really nice and they have a really nice high rise to them, so it actually allows you to sit a little bit more upright on this bike, which is the way that I prefer to ride. Coming down the front of the bike is one of my favorite features, and that's the front suspension. This suspension seems like it's a really good quality, and what I love about it is on the left-hand side you have a preload adjustment, and on the right-hand side you have a very nice hydraulic dampening adjuster, which actually has clicks to let you stop at different increments until you get to the point where it's locked out. Now for stopping the bike, this bike's using a nice set of Tektro Aries M300 series mechanical disc brakes and 180mm rotors, which are engaged with the brake levers up top that have a really nice rubberized coating on the front to keep your fingers from slipping off. Alright guys, so now let's talk about some of my favorite features about this bike, and that's the battery and the drivetrain. Now this bike is powered by a 48 volt 16 amp hour Samsung lithium battery, and with a 16 amp hour battery you don't have to worry much about range anxiety because you're going to get many miles out of this. I plan on doing a test in the future, but it probably will take me some time to drain it down and see how many miles I will get out of it, but they do estimate a range of about 30 to 55 miles out of this battery, which is probably pretty accurate. And what's also sweet is they include a 3 amp charger, so it's going to allow you to charge that larger battery up in about 5 to 6 hours. On the top of the battery you have a little display that tells you your battery level in 25% increments, and the way that this battery locks into the frame is really nice, super tight, nice clean look, and there's no rattles whatsoever. Also on the top of the battery you have a USB port for recharging small devices or cell phones while you're out on the go. And if you're like me, always making YouTube videos, then you can really appreciate that charge port on the side of the battery to keep your devices charged. That battery is using a frame-mounted 18 amp controller to power the 500 watt geared hub motor in the rear of the bike. Now I gotta tell you guys, this 500 watt motor is definitely producing a lot more power than that, and it feels at least as powerful as some of my 750 watt bikes. But I plan on doing some more testing and possibly a few comparisons, so make sure you guys stick around. For pedaling power, you have a nice set of Welgo aluminum pedals attached to non-branded cranks and a 46 tooth chain ring, which has a single-sided aluminum chain guard on the outside for keeping your pants nice and clean. So a few more nice features about this bike is that they do include a front and rear aluminum fender and also a rear rack, which is really nice and heavy duty. I really like the way it looks and fits the bike well. And the bike is also sitting on a set of Pan Racer 27.5 by 2.4 tires. Now these tires are a lot bigger than a standard size skinny tire on a regular bike, but they are not quite as big as a fat tire. Kind of a nice happy medium, and I really like the look of the tires a lot. Now for safety, we have a nice reflective strip on both the front and the back tire, We have a decent sized headlight in the front and a tail light in the back, which is actually a brake light when you pull the brake levers. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this brake light does not get brighter, but it does flash when you pull the brake lever. So that's a nice little added safety feature that I like to see and would like to see in all bikes. For the seat, there is no branding on it, but in the manual it states it's a Velo seat. To me, it does feel pretty comfortable. It seems like it's almost like a gel seat, and there is a grab handle underneath for being able to pick the back of the bike up. That seat is sitting on a 30.4 millimeter seat post and is adjustable from 34.5 inches to 41 inches off the ground, which in the manual states it's good for riders from 5'4" to 6'4". All right, guys, I think that sums it up for all the specs and features. If I forgot something, please put it down in the comments and I'll try to answer any questions. But come on, guys, for safety, I mean, look at the bike. It's orange. What's better for safety than a bike that stands out like this? I mean, this bike is pretty beautiful in my opinion. I mean, it looks even better in person than it does online, and I just really like the overall look, the ride quality, and the feel of this bike. So let's go ahead and get into this ride test and see how this bike handles. All right, guys, here we go. We're in PAS 1, no throttle, just cruising, and current speed on GPS is 9 miles per hour, 9.8 on the display, so that's nice. Now let's give it some throttle and see if we have full throttle in these PAS levels. Oh yeah, awesome. So the throttle will work full throttle in every PAS level. Let's see if there's throttle on PAS 0. Nope, no throttle on PAS 0, so keep that in mind. Just 1 through 5 you'll have throttle. Well, let's bump this up to PAS 2 and see what speed that is. And it's looking like about 13 to 14 miles per hour on PAS 2 with just the pedal assist. And the display is pretty accurate as well. I'd say 14. Now PAS 3. I gotta tell you guys, this bike seems like it has a good bit of power. I haven't gone up any hills yet, but pretty good so far. And I'm not putting any pressure into the pedals, I'm just spinning the cranks, just rotating them, letting the motor do all the work. So PAS 3 is about 18 miles per hour on the GPS, 19 on the display. Let's bump it up to PAS 4. PAS 4 is 21 miles per hour on both the display and the GPS. And let's bump it up to 5. Now this will be the max speed run. Almost 23 on the display. 21. So 21, I would say, on the GPS. Let's try a little bit longer here to see. Yeah, 21 miles per hour on GPS in PAS 5. So not much difference between 4 and 5. I think it just picks up quicker when you're in 5. It just hits that top speed faster, it seems, maybe. So let's try throttle only now and see what we can get up to. .22 miles per hour on GPS, 22 on the display. .20 on 21. So about the same on throttle only in PAS 5, right around between 21 to 22 miles per hour. So right off the bat, the PAS levels feel really smooth, kicking in. Let's start out here in 1. Let me downshift a little bit. from a dead stop. Not too bad. Not bad at all, pretty smooth. And then let's start out in PAS 5 from a dead stop and see how it is. Not bad, guys. Really nice and smooth. Pretty nice. So I did notice it didn't take much for the pedal rotations to kick the PAS in, which is nice. It's pretty responsive. Let's see, I'm going to start at the top here on my pedals. So by the time I got to the bottom, which is about a half a turn, it kicked in. So about a half a turn for the cadence sensor to start working. All right, so let's go try this on some hills and see how this baby will do. Yeah, so about 20 miles per hour, right around that, 21 top speed. Let's try the suspension on some bumps up here. Front suspension's very nice. Very nice. I don't feel anything in the front. There is no rear suspension. It's a hardtail, so if you guys want to make a softer ride, just get a suspension seat post or maybe a softer seat. This one isn't too bad. It's a little stiff, but it's not bad overall. Pretty decent. So we're going to try this little hill here first, and then we're going to go head over to a bigger hill like the one that I tried out on my other bike tests I did, the long hill, if you guys watched some of my other videos. And that noise you're hearing, guys, I don't know if you can hear that, but I don't know if gravel's getting stuck to the tire or not, but it's kind of getting up in there underneath the fender, and that's what's making that noise. If you guys hear anything, it's just the gravel getting up in the fender, because this is an aluminum fender, and the clearance is pretty tight on there, so that's what that noise is. So let's try this out. Let's just do some throttle only. And I'm in PAS 5. I don't think that matters with throttle, but so far some pretty good power. Okay, pretty nice. And I'm gonna start pedaling. Not bad, guys. I made it pretty far with just throttle. Probably could have creeped up it without it, and I normally don't do that on my bikes. Like I said in my other videos, I like to help pedal it. Now up here you'll see, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a bar. Let me turn the light on here. There's a bar right above the battery meter. Each one of those bars is 2 amps. So each time there's a bar, so how many are there total? There's 2, 4, 6, 4. I guess it will only register up to 14 amps, even though this thing's drawing more amps than that. It has an 18-watt controller. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure in the manual it said each one of those bars was 2 amps. So I don't know how accurate that's going to be. That would have been nice to see, like on my other bikes, it either show you the amp draw or the wattage. That would have been really nice to see instead of that bar, but not really a deal breaker or anything. Just it's kind of a nice feature to know what your motor's putting out and what kind of. I really like the voltage of the battery when it shows you the voltage, because I think it's a little more accurate than the meter like they have here. So let's go down this steep hill here and try this one with just some throttle. See what we can do. And if you guys seen my last video, this is where I ran out of juice on my electric scooter range test and I had to walk home. That kind of sucked. I had to walk up that hill. It was a fun day, fun ride though, and pretty good results. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys check out that video. The handling of this bike's pretty nice, guys. Pretty nice. Brakes are nice. I got them all adjusted up nice. No squeaks or squeals. So let's see, what do we want to do here? We want to go throttle only. Yeah, let's try some throttle only, see what we can do. This is starting out pretty much from the bottom. guys, powering me right up at no problem, throttle only. Slowing down a little bit, 8 miles per hour. I mean, this is a steady grade pretty much from here on up. So like I said, I normally start pedaling and help it out because I don't want to burn anything out, so I'm going to start pedaling here. But very, very impressed with the power, guys, from this 500 watt motor. It's got to be peaking at, I believe, around 900, even though it says 750, because it has an 18 amp controller. Not sure if it's limited to something before that, but anyway, it's at least, the ratings are at least accurate at 750 watt peak. It's at least that. You're going to get way more than that, I feel, because it feels like it's at least as much, if not more power than my other 500 watt bikes. So yeah, guys, really impressed with the power of this thing so far. And if I help it out just slightly on some hills, there's not going to be any issues at all. Not around here for where I live anyway. So let's go on a decent little ride here. I'm going to try some more hills, and I'm going to pedal and see how this thing does. All right, guys, going up some hills here, going to help it pedal. And I'm staying in 7th gear here, no problem. I'm putting a little bit of effort into it. Right up it. Right up it. All right, guys, so we're gonna go up that hill over there, and it's a pretty long hill and fairly steep. It's a different one than the one I normally go up, because I think this one's actually a little bit steeper. So we're gonna see how this thing performs going up it. Shifted down to 3rd, and I'm just putting a little bit of effort in the pedals, right up it, no problem, 11 miles an hour. Super easy. I'm not even working hard, barely putting effort into the pedals. I mean, mildly, I guess you could say. I'm putting about as much effort into the pedals as if you were riding a regular bike on almost level ground, maybe just a slight incline. So I'm gonna start putting a little more effort in here, just because I want to get a little bit of a workout. 15 miles an hour. And you can see down there how far we've come up already. And actually that's on an incline too. So actually we came up further than that. We started way down there. No problem, guys. I'm really impressed with the power of this bike. I want to say it easily, I would say almost it easily compares to the 750 watt bike I got. All right, let's see what we can get this baby up to. 22. 21. So yeah, guys, you're going to be capped like around 21, 22. I wish there was a way to unlock it. Well, unless you're going downhill like now. It'd be nice to be able to unlock it to get 25, 26, you know, up to 28, like a class 3 e-bike. But still a great bike, still a ton of fun, excellent ride. And these 2.4 inch tires are pretty nice. They're wider than a standard tire, but not quite as fat as a fat tire. Kind of an in-between. Suspension test. All right, guys, so on that quick little ride, I did 6.6 miles on the display. and 6.57 miles on this app here. So it's very, very close as far as when it's in miles per hour, even though that says kilometers. I believe that's miles traveled for your trip meter. So yeah, guys, I'm glad to see that even though that says kilometers, it is registering miles. All right, guys, so I think that's it for this video. I hope you found it enjoyable and helpful. Like I said, I'll put affiliate links down below and current coupon codes if there is any. Right now, there's $50 off one bike and $150 off two. So if you guys want to check this bike out and pick one up for yourself or just see the specs, make sure you guys use the link below. It will be an affiliate link, and I will make a small commission at no extra cost. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys around on the next one.